Good morning, and welcome to the podcast for Monday, June 22nd, 2026.
We have a massive show for you today, covering a huge weekend in sports, a major political resignation in the UK, and some groundbreaking AI medical news.
If you're stepping out in Parker, Colorado this morning, it is currently 53 degrees with clear skies, heading for a high of 86 and a low tonight of 53.
It sounds like a perfect summer day out there.
It really does, but we have a lot of news to get through, so let's dive right in.
Sounds good. Where are we starting?
All right, let's talk U.S. news, which is heavily dominated by the sports world today, starting with an absolute bombshell from the tennis courts.
I saw the headlines this morning and I almost couldn't believe it.
It is officially confirmed that Serena Williams will play singles at Wimbledon 2026 after accepting a wild card entry.
That is just incredible news for tennis fans, especially since so many people thought her playing days at this level were completely behind her.
Exactly. Her return to the iconic grass courts marks a highly anticipated moment for the sport and adds some legendary star power to this year's event.
What does this mean for the rest of the draw at Wimbledon?
It completely shakes up the dynamic, because even as a wild card, nobody wants to face a 23-time Grand Slam champion in the early rounds.
The television ratings for her first-round match are going to be absolutely off the charts.
Moving over to golf, Wyndham Clark has conquered the U.S. Open, securing his first major championship victory.
That is a huge milestone for him, but I read that the crowd was noticeably unsupportive during his final round.
They really were, which makes the win even more impressive because he basically won a U.S. Open that almost nobody wanted him to win.
How did he manage to pull it off with the galleries actively rooting against him?
He showed incredible mental fortitude, blocking out the noise and making crucial putts down the stretch to hold off the fan favorites.
That kind of pressure can break a lot of players, so this really cements his status as a top-tier competitor in professional golf.
It absolutely does, and he proved he belongs in that elite category of major champions.
What is next on the sports docket?
We have to talk about the 2026 World Cup, where Egypt just stormed past New Zealand in a decisive match.
That was a crucial game for Group G, right?
It was, and with this victory, Egypt has taken total control of the group standings.
What does that mean for us here in the States?
It sets up a highly anticipated potential knockout round match between Egypt and the USA.
That would be a massive test for the American squad on home soil.
Absolutely. The U.S. team will need to be fully prepared because this Egyptian side is playing with incredible momentum right now.
I will definitely be blocking off my calendar if that matchup becomes official.
Shifting to the ice, we have a massive NHL trade to discuss involving the Ottawa Senators and the Florida Panthers.
This is the trade everyone has been speculating about for weeks.
It is finally done. Brady Tkachuk is officially joining his brother Matthew in Florida.
That is going to make the Panthers an absolute nightmare to play against.
You're not kidding. Having both Tkachuk brothers on the same roster significantly reshapes the dynamics of the entire Eastern Conference.
What did Ottawa get in return for giving up their franchise captain?
It was a massive haul of draft picks and top prospects, signaling a full rebuild for the Senators.
Meanwhile, Florida is clearly pushing all their chips to the center of the table for a Stanley Cup run.
Sticking with the World Cup for a moment, Spain's teenage superstar Lamine Yamal made his first start of the tournament.
He has been hyped up as the next big thing in global football for a while now.
And he completely lived up to it, making a massive impact on the pitch and solidifying his status as one of the sport's most promising young talents.
It is wild to think about how young he is, handling the pressure of the world's biggest stage like a seasoned veteran.
His vision and passing ability were on full display, and he's going to be a problem for opposing defenses for the next 15 years.
Did we have any major upsets in the tournament over the weekend?
We had a historic result in Group B, where World Cup debutants Cape Verde battled to a 2-2 draw against Uruguay.
Wow, Cape Verde holding a powerhouse like Uruguay is a phenomenal storyline.
It really highlights the rising competitiveness of underdog nations in international football tournaments.
I heard one of their players made history during the match as well.
Yes, Pina scored their first ever World Cup goal, securing a point that feels like a victory for the island nation.
That is exactly why we love the World Cup, those incredible underdog moments.
Next up, let's turn our attention to global news.
We have a massive political earthquake happening across the Atlantic this morning.
We certainly do, as reports indicate that Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer is stepping down after just 2 years in office.
Less than 2 years after leading the Labour Party to a landslide election victory, that is a stunning collapse.
It really is, and his departure marks the loss of the UK's sixth Prime Minister in a single decade.
6 prime ministers in 10 years points to some deeply rooted political volatility in the country.
Absolutely. His resignation plunges British politics right back into fresh uncertainty.
Why exactly is he walking away so soon after winning such a massive majority?
It comes down to a prolonged period of incredibly low approval ratings and intense internal pressure from his own party.
The public clearly lost faith in his leadership very quickly.
They did, and now the scramble to replace him is already well underway.
Who is looking like the frontrunner to take over the Labour Party and the country?
Right now, Andy Burnham is aggressively putting himself forward as the natural successor.
Burnham has a strong power base in the north of England, doesn't he?
He does, and his potential leadership transition could significantly reshape the UK's political landscape, pushing the party in a different direction.
It will be fascinating to see if he can unify a government that seems to be in a constant state of crisis.
We will keep a close eye on Westminster as this leadership contest develops over the coming weeks.
Next up, let's head over to India and Tamil Nadu.
Let's start with a major boost to India's maritime security, as the Indian Navy has just commissioned 3 indigenous warships.
This is a significant milestone for their domestic defense manufacturing.
It is, and it marks a major step in the country's push for defense self-reliance, significantly reducing their dependence on foreign military imports.
Building these advanced ships at home strengthens their regional naval capabilities immensely.
Moving to regional politics, a rebel member of parliament from the Uddhav Thackeray faction has explained his decision to switch sides.
He is joining Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena, right?
Correct, and this defection underscores the continuing political realignment and instability within Maharashtra's regional parties.
It seems like that political tug-of-war in Maharashtra is never-ending.
Finally, in India, we have a tragic story out of Lucknow, where a devastating building fire has killed at least 12 people.
That is awful. What kind of building was it?
It was a commercial complex housing a pet shop and an animation center.
Has the local government responded to the tragedy yet?
Yes, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has ordered immediate rescue operations and a full investigation into the cause of the blaze.
Our thoughts are certainly with the families of the victims in Lucknow today.
Next up, markets and finance.
And we are starting with the passing of a towering figure in American economics.
Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan has died at the age of 100.
He led the Fed for nearly 2 decades, which is an incredibly long and influential tenure.
He truly steered the U.S. economy through periods of historic growth, but also through multiple severe financial crises.
His decisions essentially shaped modern American monetary policy as we know it today.
They did, and his legacy on global financial markets is massive, even if some of his deregulatory stances faced heavy criticism after the 2008 crash.
He was always known for his incredibly dense, almost cryptic way of speaking to Congress and the press.
The famous Greenspan briefcase indicator was a real thing, where analysts would try to guess interest rate moves based on how thick his briefcase looked.
He leaves behind a complicated but undeniably historic legacy at the age of 100.
Moving into the corporate world, the Spanish banking giant BBVA is making a massive pivot toward artificial intelligence.
They are partnering with OpenAI for this, right?
Yes, they have entered a strategic collaboration to deploy ChatGPT Enterprise to approximately 100,000 employees globally.
Putting AI in the hands of 100,000 banking employees is a massive operational shift.
BBVA says this integration aims to completely redesign their banking operations, customer experience, and overall workflow efficiency.
It really shows how AI is moving from experimental tech to the absolute core of legacy financial institutions.
Speaking of financial integration, the Bank of England has made a major regulatory shift regarding cryptocurrency.
What did they decide to do?
They have officially backed down on their plans to impose strict individual holding limits on stablecoins.
That was a highly controversial proposal, so what are they doing instead?
They are setting a temporary £40 billion aggregate issuance cap for the entire market.
Why the sudden change in their regulatory approach? It sounds like they realized their original rules were going to stifle the market before it even got off the ground.
Exactly. And
what is the core of the legal dispute there?
CME is challenging the agency's approval of Kalshi's perpetual futures contracts, arguing over whether these products should be classified as swaps.
This legal battle could set a major precedent regarding how prediction market products are regulated in the United States. What is his worst-case scenario projection? That really highlights how closely cryptocurrency performance remains tied to broader.
Next up, tech and AI.
We have some incredibly inspiring news on the medical AI front to kick things off. Diagnosing rare pediatric diseases is often a years-long, heartbreaking journey for families.
It is, but researchers used an OpenAI reasoning model that successfully identified genetic leads for 18 previously unsolved pediatric cases.
Solving 18 cold cases in medical genetics using an AI model is absolutely staggering.
It perfectly highlights the growing role of advanced AI in assisting clinical geneticists with the most complex medical diagnoses.
How exactly does the reasoning model figure out something that teams of doctors couldn't?
It can cross-reference millions of genetic data points in medical literature instantly, finding obscure patterns that human researchers might miss.
This is going to change the standard of care for rare diseases worldwide.
Staying with AI and science, researchers have also developed a near-autonomous AI chemist that is making waves in medicinal chemistry.
I read about this. They are using the new GPT 5.4 model, right?
Yes, and using that model, the AI discovered a chemical additive that significantly boosts the yields of Chan-Lamb coupling reactions.
What does that mean for us in practical terms?
It means the process of creating new pharmaceutical drugs just got significantly faster and more efficient.
So the AI is not just analyzing data, it is actively designing better chemical reactions.
Exactly. This breakthrough demonstrates the incredible potential of near-autonomous AI systems to accelerate drug discovery.
In other OpenAI news, they just announced a new corporate acquisition.
They are acquiring a company called Ona to integrate its secure cloud execution technology into the Codex ecosystem.
This will enable secure, customer-controlled cloud infrastructure for long-running AI agents.
Moving over to cybersecurity, Microsoft just had a record-breaking patch Tuesday for June 2026.
Record-breaking in terms of the number of fixes?
Yes, they released software updates fixing nearly 200 security vulnerabilities across their Windows operating systems.
200 bugs in a single update is a massive amount of patching for IT departments to handle.
It is critical that people update immediately, because nearly 36 of these bugs are rated critical and several are already being actively exploited in the wild.
If you haven't restarted your computer to install updates recently, today is definitely the day to do it.
Speaking of cybersecurity nightmares, U.S. lawmakers are demanding answers from CISA this morning.
CISA is the nation's primary cybersecurity agency, so what exactly went wrong?
A contractor accidentally leaked AWS GovCloud keys and internal agency secrets on a public GitHub repository.
That is an incredibly embarrassing and dangerous mistake for the agency tasked with protecting our national infrastructure.
It is highly sensitive because the leak exposes exactly how CISA builds and deploys its own internal software.
Lawmakers are absolutely right to demand answers. That kind of supply chain vulnerability is unacceptable.
Shifting gears to the space race, Blue Origin has officially begun rebuilding its LC-36 launch pad.
This is following that severe New Glenn rocket explosion less than 3 weeks ago.
Yes, the rapid reconstruction effort is crucial for the company to resume its launch schedule and minimize program delays.
They cannot afford to lose any more ground to SpaceX right now.
Finally today, the world's most sensitive radio telescope array is officially set to be built in the Nevada desert.
What will this new facility allow astronomers to do? It is amazing to think about the discoveries that will come out of the Nevada desert in the next few years.
It really is. And that wraps up our coverage for today, a day defined by major transitions, from the tennis courts of Wimbledon to the halls of the British Parliament.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We will be back tomorrow with all the latest news you need to start your day.